Welcome to today's interactive session with the Chairman AASB, Auditing and Assurance Standard Board ICAI on audit trial. On behalf of the Chairman SIRC of ICAI and all the members present here, we welcome CA Dr. Sanjeev Kumar Agarwal with a big round of applause. We will start today's proceedings with the invocation of ICAI Motors. Let us all raise for ICAI Motor as a mark of respect to our mother institute.
यशस्सुप्तेषु जाग्रति यशस्सुप्तेषु जाग्रति कामं 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 कामपुरुषो पुरुषो निर्विमानः तदेव शुक्रं ब्रह्मा अस्मिन् लोकः शतः सर्वे तदुनात्यपि कश्चन एतद्वैता
Thank you. Please be seated. Thank you. May I now request the Chairman SIRC CA Banaraj Sirigiri to formally welcome the gathering through his welcome address.
Good morning, everyone. I'm very pleased to be here as part of this program of interactive session, Chairman AASB on audit trial. As you all know, audit trial is already in place, and one has to be very proactive in implementing the audit trial measures. And first of all, I very warmly welcome Chairman of the Auditing and the AASB, Auditing and Assurance Standards Board of ICAI, CA Dr. Sanjeev Kumar Singh sir. Sir, a warm welcome to you. And also, sorry for the slight delay because the flight was on time, it seems, but because the program was structured by HO, it was not communicated that it will start at 11:30. It was the only reason for the delay. And a very warm welcome to you all. In my opinion, this is the perfect interactive session, irrespective of the numbers, because every one of you have a mic with you, and it will be very close interaction, and your interaction will definitely be helpful in the programs to come at SIRC, so that we will take your help to further take forward this program of audit trial from our side at SIRC. So once again, a warm welcome to all of you, and we wish you have a very wonderful and very purposeful interactive sessions ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chairman sir. May I request the Chairman to present a silk shawl and a health bouquet to Sanjeev sir as a token of our love and affection. It's my privilege to formally introduce CA Dr. Sanjeev Kumar Singh sir. He is a fellow chartered accountant with 26 years of experience. He is a BCom graduate honors from SRCC Delhi University topper. He did his articleship from area Ferguson, Delhi. He is a MCom postgraduate from Delhi School of Economics. He did his doctorate in international finance from Faculty of Management Studies, Delhi. He also did his certificate course on IFRS from ICAI. He has received more than 110 merit certificates for academic achievements and extracurricular activities in schools and colleges. He has got a wide professional experience. He was the Vice President of Finance at Cyber Media, Executive Vice President of Finance at Religare, Vice President at Jubilant Life Science, etc. Worked as a partner with B.L. Agarwal, Sovasya and Company. Worked as an Associate Professor at Ford School of Management. Currently working as a partner in S.R. Batlibay and Company LLP Chartered Accountants. His key professional responsibilities in India includes Chairman of Auditing and Assurance Standard Board of ICAI, Chairman Public Relations Committee, Vice Chairman of Sustainability Reporting Standards Board, Director at XBRL India, Director Institute of Social Auditors of India, member of various committees of ICAI, government nominee as a NACAS and a contributor towards resolving industry and professional interest issues. Special invitee to Caro Group set up by MCA, member of SEBI Task Force on Social Stock Exchange, member of Niti Aayog panel on Sustainable Development Goals for Private Sector. He is a member of MCA IBBA Group on Insolvency Indicators, member of CNDG Natural Resource Accounting Cell, member of Bureau of Indian Standards Committee on Sustainability Finance. His key professional responsibility across the globe includes Chairman of UNCTAD ISAR 39 session, member of Asian Federation of Accountants Nominating Committee for the Standards Checking Board, member of SAFA Committee on Auditing and Quality Standards. His contribution to the society are noteworthy. He is a CA Parivar started various helplines during COVID-19 in the form of free Sanjeevani ambulance, arranging critical medicines, free food packets, sanitizer, mask and PPE kits, oxygen plant at Muni Maya Ram Jain Hospital, Pitampura, yoga, meditation and counseling helpline, meals and dry ration, arranging hospital beds, financial matters helpline, etc. Socio-economic transformation project Ashika Sahayog scholarship scheme for CA students, under which 214 students were given full scholarship so far. Mission food for all under 500 poor people are served food every day outside Delhi hospitals like AIIMS and Safdarjung, etc. Volunteer at a camp support working for the cancer affected people, and trustee and voluntary at the Blind Ashram, Gebra, Delhi. Started a school under ICAI Ekal Vidyalaya. He is also the trustee of Sri Krishna Ayurvedic Hospital, Charki Dadri, Haryana, and Sri Vaishya Vikas Parishad, Delhi. Instituted several scholarships at SBM schools, Delhi. He has published numerous books and papers. He has over 14 books published by leading publishers including Bharat Law House, CCH, LexisNexis, Bloomsbury, etc. on India's IGAP Schedule 3 to the Companies Act 2013, revised Schedule 4, 6, etc. to his credit. Has published several research papers published in leading journals and ICAI publications. Sanjeev Kumar Singhal has got a lot of awards, which includes the CA Professional Achiever Award 2014 for outstanding contribution to the industry, NIRC Best Faculty Award, winner of Professor A.B. Ghosh Prize for highest marks in the Economics Group paper, and a Delhi University topper received Professor J. Narayan Vaishnav Gold Medal Award. With this brief, I have great pleasure in presenting before you CA Dr. Sanjeev Kumar Agarwal to take us through on audit trail.
Thank you so much for such a detailed introduction. And the chairman, I must appreciate some of the words which he pronounced. People in North India also are not able to pronounce them accurately. Particularly Charki Dadri, Charki Dadri, Ghebra, etc. You know, these are the names which people in North India also are not able to pronounce properly. So hats off to you that they are down south in Chennai. You are able to pronounce those names very aptly and very correctly. So thank you so much, friends, and thanks to my two council colleagues, Rajendra Kumarji and Shri Priyaji, who were instrumental in bringing me here. I happened to be in Chennai this afternoon, so they requested me to address a session on audit trail, which I couldn't say no. So we are straight away coming from our council meeting, which was in Goa. There is one residential council meeting which happened, so I came from there. And Rajendra Kumarji met me at the airport, and after that he has to go to Aurangabad, and probably I will be meeting Shreya post lunch. But thank you, Chairman, SIRC, Panna Rajesh, and all the members. And sorry that you have to keep waiting for me. As I said, my flight was not delayed. It was in time. It was before time. Just that the aero bridge was not there, and so it took 15 minutes extra, but I would not like to say that the flight was delayed, so I am delayed. Whatever time it is taken from airport to here, I am here. So friends, as was mentioned, we will definitely talk about audit trail. And apart from audit trail, let me also tell you that I am in charge of the Public Relation Committee, as was mentioned. And this is one of a very important responsibility which the President has given me. And what we are doing in that. Because see, traditionally, we have been reactive to the media. But this year, our endeavor has been that we are proactive as far as media is concerned. So I am handling ICAI media. And I have also worked at a media house earlier as a CFO. So I had that experience. So we are proactively reaching out to the media. We've done many press conferences. And we also did one residential meet with media, telling them what all we do. And that was so impactful that many times now, before writing a news, media talks to us that this is what we are writing. Do you have any comments to offer? Recently, we did one insolvency conference resolve in Singapore, and the press coverage is of 164 pages. So you can imagine that probably in 1 year itself, our press coverage used to be less than 164 pages. And now in one meeting, one program, it is 164 pages. Today also, 5 newspapers have covered ICAI president on artificial intelligence. And tomorrow there is a program, student conference in Bhubaneswar, where the finance minister is coming. So there also the media will be there. And we are now organizing one residential meet for press in South. Because one of the council members, Shridhar Mupala, is from South and he is the vice chairman of the Public Relation Committee. So he was of the view that the council meeting and the press meeting should be held in all the regions. So accordingly, we will be holding one press meet at South, most likely at Munnar, and we invite national media over there to give the perspective about ICAI. So we've been going across India and talking to the media so that a positive perception is built about the profession. I'm not saying that there will be no negative news. We have 4 lakh members, 8 lakh students. Some negative news are bound to be there. But if you look at the negative news this year as compared to the positive news, negative news will be less than 10% of the positive news, which is a sea change. We are also actively talking to the electronic media. You may not be watching a Hindi channel here, but if you look at Aaj Tak yesterday, during the Prime Minister Independence Day speech, RN band appeared 10 times. 10 times. And now we are tying up with the regional electronic channels also. So you'll find ICAI soon in the regional electronic channels also. So we are going all out. We are doing global branding. So we had participated in Africa, Malaysia, Singapore. Now we'll be participating in World Investment Forum, where I happen to be the global chairman of the United Nations for Sustainability Committee. 192 countries are expected to be present at World Investment Forum with over 10,000 people at Abu Dhabi. Then we'll be participating at COP28 and then at another program at Muscat for the international conference. And then we have the GLOPAC in Gandhinagar, in which slightly that the Honorable Prime Minister will come and address all of us. So we are making our presence felt in the media, doing our best to dispel the wrong beliefs about the profession and trying to portray a positive picture of the profession in my role as a Public Relation Committee Chairman. Coming to the Auditing and Assurance Standard Board, of course this is the technical committee. It's core to my heart. It's my second year. I am an auditor. Of course, since the time I joined council, we don't get time to do audits. So, but yes, I am an assurance partner at my firm, which is SR Bartley, which is a member firm of E&Y. So this is, now what we have done is that we have come up with a lot of technical literature. We have come up with an auditing standard checklist, which all of you can use during your audits. And we have given this in PDF, Word and Excel. We have come out with an audit working paper templates, which again you can use. You of course you have to customize it, but during your audit you can use your working paper templates. And again it's in PDF, Word and Excel. We have come out with an audit materiality checklist, from Center for Audit Quality. During bank audit season, every time we come out with a guidance note on bank audits, and this year we also came out with an Excel utility. Now we are coming out with a data analytical tool. Very shortly, the council is likely to approve this on 4th or 5th of September. This is by ICAI Caseware, which is the best possible vendor in the world. Its original price is 1 lakh rupees per license. We are getting it at 2,250 rupees per license, a discount of 97%. And that too, our plan is to give, to the extent possible, free of cost to our member for the first year. And depending on who all are using it, then it can be renewed at a concessional price. But this will change the way you do your professional practice. You can analyze millions of rows and in a fraction of seconds. You can put 10 million rows of payroll data or purchase data or sales data and run any query in it, and it will give you instant answers. You can identify any odd ones out. You will be able to run that how many people receive more than that, how many sales invoices of more than this amount, how many purchase amount, this much amount, what are the variations, what are the monthly trends. All you just have to run the query. You have to import your data to that software, simply run your query and you have it. There are over 37 welfare schemes which have been launched by the institute for members and students. For example, now we have a tie-up with Microsoft also, where the students get the student version of Microsoft free of cost. The members get it at discounted price. We are tied up with various hospitals for discounted treatment. We are tied up with Dr. Lal Labs, where they get 20% discount on the health test. Plus, we are tied up with so many software providers for providing either free or a discounted software to our members. We recently also launched practice management software, where you can run your entire practice through that software, and again it's free of cost. There are over 10,000 downloads already. So please make use of what ICAI is providing you. You will be able to enrich your practice through that. So a lot of technical publications and softwares are being provided by the institute. So please make the best possible use. And when it comes to technical matters, obviously our immediate past president, Dr. Devashish Mitra, has said that audit is a serious business. Only if you are serious about audit, then only you do audits. And audit trail is a step in that direction. Why I say it's a step in that direction? It's the chartered accountant fraternity which will benefit the most out of this reform. This is one of the biggest reform in auditing and in accounting. Why I call it is the biggest reform. There were every kind of practice which was followed by the companies. Now with audit trail, a stop will be put to the unethical practices. Because audit trail would mean that you are keeping a track of the changes, post facto changes that you are making. There are various, myths about audit trail. There are people who say that it's a very rigorous step. There are people who say it's a very backward step. There are people who say that the government has not been practical. There are people who say that why the issue is not represented. But I am telling you that the biggest beneficiary will be the profession. Why is it so? Because company can no longer make backdated changes. There are people who say that there are practical difficulties. There are people who say that how the small companies will comply. But let me tell you, Chairman, that not even a single small company represented to the Ministry of Corporate Affairs that relaxation be given to them. Not even a single software vendor came forward and said, we cannot provide a software to have an audit trail. People use Tally the most. I don't know in South, but in North it's Tally. Like Tally was ready 1 year ago with its audit trail feature. So where is the issue? The issue comes with unscrupulous companies, unscrupulous clients, want to adjust profits and want to make excuses. Now, audit trail will put a check on that. Why? Because any changes made post facto, there will be a log for that. So when people say that, look, does the government expect that 31st March closing entries will be passed on 31st March? Are they fool? Are they not practical? My answer to them is that there is no such requirement. So today, if you are on 16th of August and the accounts of your client are still under finalization, and you have suggested say 100 audit entries, closing entries, nobody stops your client from making those 100 entries today. Nobody. Just that the posting date has to be today's date. The value date can be 31st March. So that an auditor, when he comes next year, he knows that these are the entries which are made after the close of the accounts. This will also have a reflection on the company's people efficiency and effectiveness. If it happens that the total entries in a year are 50 and adjustment entries are 100, that speaks a lot about the company's state of affairs. But if there is a large company having 10 lakh entries and there are 500 audit entries, hardly matters. The problem will also not arise if somebody says that I have a part-time accountant who come once a week. Doesn't matter. There is no restriction on doing entries once a week. Do the posting date as the current date and the value date as the date to which it belongs. There are people who say that as a small company I can't afford a full-time accountant. My accountant comes once a month. Doesn't matter. Do the entries once a month. But then there are people who say that my accountant comes once a year. To that also I don't have a problem. But if you are submitting your stock and data statement once a month to the bank, how these are being submitted? So, there are various myths. And I can tell you that today it's on companies. Few years down the line, you will see this is happening for LLPs, for partnership, for sole proprietors. And the income tax officer is going to ask you for the audit trail in the assessment. When I say you, it means the company. And the day it happens for all assessees, so many of the malpractices will go away. Your client will not come to you for adjustments. You will be relieved. They'll have to assess on a regular basis what their profitability is. Then there are people who say if I do manual accounts then yes, audit trail is not applicable. So they say then can we make manual accounts? There is no prohibition as of now. If it's a listed company, large listed company having a turnover of 50,000 crore, if they also want to maintain manual account, good luck to them. But if it's a company having 10 entries in a year, they want to make manual accounts, go ahead, do it. But do you really need a company then if you're no business? But if somebody says that my cash is falling short, I'm not able to book expenses, so on 16th August, allow me to insert 1 crore rupees of cash in 31st March date. Sorry, that is not allowed. And that should alert you as an auditor that things are not right. There is something fishy. So, an audit trail will give you fraud indicators within the company. If every month end there is a stock adjustment, if every now and then there is a cash adjustment, if every now and then there are backdated expense vouchers which are being put, if there is too much of imprest and bills are submitted through imprest, then these could be the indicators for fraud. And these could also indicate what is the risk you are taking by doing your audits. We issued a technical guide on audit trail, answering every possible question and every possible issue. That in a standalone, what do you do? In a console, what do you do? If it's a fixed asset register, what do you do? If it's in Excel, what do you do? We tried and answered every question. For example, there are many people who come and say that I have a fixed asset register in Excel. What do I do? First of all, my message to them is that nowhere in the law it is written that fixed asset register is to be maintained in Excel. Is it a compulsion? No. And again I will say that audit trail need not be maintained for fixed asset register if no entries are going from fixed asset register to the original books of entry. There are 8 books of original entries. Cash book, purchase book, sales book, purchase return, sales return, bills receivable, bills payable, and journal account. So there are 8 books of original entries, right? So if an entry is not going automatically from fixed asset register to your books of original entry, then you don't need an audit trail in fixed assets. However, you will do well, your client will do well if they are using a software for fixed assets also. It will reduce errors, it will reduce time, it will automate calculations. Now similarly, people say for consolidation, they say that, look, I have to do consolidation in Excel. First of all, there is no requirement to do consolidation in Excel. But if you are doing consolidation in Excel and you are not having consolidated books of entry anywhere in any other software, then you will need to qualify your audit report. Because in Excel, still there is no feature of an audit trail. So if consolidation books are maintained only in Excel, then there is a problem. There is no legal requirement to make consolidated accounts in Excel. So if at all somebody has to consolidate in Excel, it will be better that those entries are posted in a separate software as consolidated entries, and that will reduce the chances of errors. Because in a double entry system, at least both the sides will be tallied. So that will be an advantage. There are people who say that if there are 10 branches and 8 branches have audit trail and 2 branches do not have an audit trail, you qualify in respect of 2. There are people who say that if I am reading about audit trail on 16th of August and the client did not have an audit trail till 15th of August, what do? Qualify for 5.5 months, leading up to 15th August. So all possible answers we have given in this technical guide. Now, since it's an interactive session, I would like to take your point of view, your issues that you will be facing, or the other members may be facing. But this was a background which I wanted to give to all of you before proceeding further. So thank you very much for a very patient hearing. And now, we can have a small round of introduction and your questions also, one by one. And of course, ask any number of questions, not necessarily an audit trail, but about the issue also. If you want to ask, you can ask those also. Sir, start with you.
Morning. I am Anand Kumar. Practicing since 1980. On a trial for this, I heard you speaking over the webinars of AASB. I heard quite a number of AASB webinars, and your face and your diction is very familiar to me. I enjoyed your expositions. But still, to convince the clients about the need for audit trail has been very difficult. Personally, even today morning, I requested 2 industrialists to join us, come to our meeting, and know the need for this audit trail. One gentleman said that he has got tenders and tenders, and therefore he will not be. This is a bit his top reply for all the invitations I have extended to him in the past. Another gentleman is also a good time industrialist, and at the national level he is heading annual technology association as president. But he is an feeling is that it's better we qualify. What are the consequences of qualification? I'd like to know from
Sir, first of all, you don't have to convince your clients.
they have to know it better.
It is their requirement.
Yeah.
Accounts are to be maintained by the client, not by the auditor. Unless you are the accountant for them and not the auditor. If you are an accountant, yes, take a software which has an audit trail. All softwares have audit trail. If some software doesn't have an audit trail, that is client problem, not our problem. So there is no reason for an auditor to be worried about it. It's the client's responsibility. Second, if the client doesn't follow, you qualify. Third, what is the consequence? Consequence will have to be seen by the income tax officer, by the banker and others. Those statements will become unreliable. And the client will face consequences. Because if the accounts are qualified, if the audit trail is not there, it is for the income tax officer to interpret what kind of companies it is, what kind of adjustments are made. It is not for the auditor. Let the company face the consequences. We can say that we will qualify the report, they will go to some other channel. Let them choose. You choose between the client and your certificate of practice. Which one is more important? You want to serve one client or we want to respect the law of the land? Choices.
So the audit trail is required not only under the Country Act but also under the Tax Act and
No.
other acts.
It's only at the Companies Act. But what happens is that your report goes to income tax also for tax, when tax audit is done. So they will understand that audit trail was not there, this qualification is there. Means accounts are not reliable. If the audit trail is not there, the accounts are not reliable.
It is equally applicable to LLPs also.
No, as of now.
No.
In future it will become, as of now.
And we have been hearing about accounting trails in the beginning, and later it is followed with audit trails. Is there any difference between accounting trail and
There is no difference. Audit trail does not mean for auditors, no. If you go to Excel, there is a feature called audit. So, which means it shows from where this figure is coming. So, audit trail means that if anybody is looking at where the changes have happened, they are able to see that. So, accounting trail and audit trail are same. It's in fact an accounting trail.
there's no difference at all?
No, there is no difference.
And well, I'm trying to convince all the clients. I've been telling that gone are the days when the passbooks issued by banks for savings bank accounts or being scored off, rounded off, and rectified. Today, you will hardly find any passbook with mistakes. There can be printing errors, but accounting errors are zero almost. When you expect your bank balance to be known every minute, why not your account be also up to date? I always tell all the accountants and the clients that you should not leave any accounting entry undone without barring those every entry of the day. You should not sleep it. Like, this will reduce your burden of accumulation and starts to complain about the memories of the past and all those things. If you do it then and there, it saves a lot of time and effort.
So it's very simple. It's for the client to follow. Right? If they do not follow, you qualify.
But unfortunately, sir, I don't know how it is in North India.
Clients are same everywhere.
Most of the accountants and clients are not serious about this at all.
Doesn't matter, sir. They will face the consequences. But as an auditor, if we will not do our job, then we will face the consequences.
This seems to be a fool's paradise for us.
No, sir, no. It is for us that you know how do we implement it during our audits. If we will not be able to save our certificate of practice.
I have decided to qualify, sir.
That's fine. Yes. But qualification and emphasis of matter are not the same. Please remember. Many people put qualification and emphasis of matter. That is not equivalent.
Where should you?
Qualification means qualification.
Thanks for your brief. Thanks for the brief introduction about the audit trail, which gave us a lot of information. I have a couple of questions. So, when you were touching upon the audit trail requirement, I think my understanding was that if any data from any standard software or any application, if it's not directly posted in the accounting software, then the audit trail requirement is not required. So I think that we're doing an audit of an NPS, where most of the load applications are processed in the software called LMS load management. And the entry does not directly automatically transfer to an accounting system, but it's accumulated entry. At the end of the month, they post all the entries, like what are.
Is it posted automatically?
We have two situations.
If it is posted automatically, then this software also need to have audit trail.
If it's posted manually, then the requirement is not. You don't have a requirement. Okay, so that's fine. And second is on consolidation, where we were discussing about even for consolidation, we need to have a
100% you need to have.
Okay, even though it's going to be a wholly owned subsidiary where we don't have any.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Okay. And third thing is, just to clarify, when I was discussing with one of my client who is having a tally-based accounting software, so they also checked up with their tally software provider. They said up to somewhere around August, the software itself had an audit log facility. But the tally team says that audit log is something different when compared to the edit log.
There are two versions. One with audit trail, which is for company, and another is for non-corporate assessments. The client has to use the version which is for company and which has audit trail, which cannot be disabled. And it is to be done from 1st April 2023.
And the fourth question is, most of the MNCs have a service organization where the payroll things will be processed and the information was.
Then an auditor report need to be obtained that their audit trail was there.
Yeah, okay. That's it.
Thank you.
Hello sir, good morning. I'm Shekhar Raman, I'm Chartered Accountant. So thanks for your time. So we come from the same firm, so we have covered many of our common questions. Can you just throw some light on foreign MNCs because they may have their server outside India. So the soft accounts technically resides outside India. So if you need a backup, should the backup of that server be sufficient or do you need the backup to be maintained in India? That's one question.
So that is a legal requirement that the backup is to be maintained in India. So there is no doubt about it. It's a legal requirement. If they are not, then as an auditor you will qualify your audit report. And it's to be maintained on a daily basis.
Okay.
There
Because
are no exceptions.
no exceptions.
And none of these companies have asked for exception.
Okay.
Even if they would have asked, I don't think that they would have got it.
And same thing goes for cloud-based server. It's the server of the cloud is situated outside India. Okay. This is going to be some challenge for the MNCs because
No.
they feel if
No, all of them are complying.
they're compliant.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it is their problem.
Yeah. Okay.
If they want to do business in India, they have to follow the Indian regulations.
Yeah. And from an audit perspective, what do you think our approach to audit should be to ensure that this audit and editor of is working throughout the year? Should it be something like an OE testing that we do for ICFR? What would be the approach?
Absolutely. So we need to have the IT application controls, IT general controls, and do sample test, right? Whether it was operating throughout the year or not. Build it in the ICFR also, entity level controls.
Yeah, start with entry level, go for entry level controls, and probably look at this to be given many times a day, do 25 hours, 45 samples as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
is whether correct or not is again. The date of entry is the date what we are putting in the ledger is ledger or cash book or whatever it is, the basic books is immediate. Whatever the date we can put even after 30th month when we are doing finalization. It will be recorded that as if the date is month, most of the year like this because we will be doing the audit in the month of September or whatever, all the adjustable entries are there. Some of the entries, even though you put the 31st March, some invoices based on invoices that will just be recorded particular month so that the GST or the whatever the returns also be updated later on. That's of any of the invoices based or something has been missed and it has been followed later. Only audit is only when the clients, we are not small, they are not big corporate, they are having only sort of working very partial accountant or whatever the part-time accountant, they are only doing the small companies doing the house. So they have missed out something. We found out during the audit and then also to pass anything so that the characters of the books will come. So we are separate as independent auditor and the client is different. Okay, in theory and practice. In a day-to-day actual life, a client is depending on auditor is also depending on the client. He is also small, he is also small. He is not a big auditor, he is not a small, he is also a big client also. So in this scenario, so okay, we can find out this has been an entry has been passed on this day, even if any invoice is later on, it has been put in the particular month of GST entry or whatever, we become automatically suppress the picture, the facts will be remain facts. Facts has been changed. So in this scenario, what you want to expect the auditor, how to we want to qualify it, or we are just observe the facts.
So if the software allows a backdated entry, then you have to qualify the entire audit report. A company cannot use a software which allows backdated entries. Value date can be a previous month date, that is fine. But the posting date has to be the current date, it cannot be altered.
Posting date won't be on what date is making the entry?
Yes. That has to be the current date. If a system allows someone to go back in time, then that system is not meeting the requirement of the law. Big or small, if a company has been incorporated as a company, this law is applicable. Simple. An auditor cannot be dependent on company. Then the independence is reached.
Small company.
Whatever, sir, small or large,
Okay,
independence requirements, sir, applies to all.
Law is also be
Yeah.
aware that there is a second problem. But in this fashion, so you are the government and company and our people are want to get away the companies, small companies from the system. Because they are not able to do that. Because the turnover is they have to go to another part.
They don't want to do that, sir. They don't want to do that.
Either they want to be a partnership or they want to be a sole proprietorship, then only they get away from this repair.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And tomorrow, if it comes on partnership also, they should convert it to sole proprietor. And if it comes into sole proprietor also, they should close down the business if they don't want to follow the law. Simple, sir.
My name is Srinivasan. I am practicing from 1987. See, the practical difficulty we are getting only when you get the confirmation of balance now for finalization. Lot of debit notes and credit notes are made only at the year end, depending upon the situation when we are reconciling the customer's ledger. This is one thing. The other thing, in the case of contract, I am telling you specific cases. In the case of Kalpakkam Atomic Power Station, Corporation of Chennai, Railways, they deduct tax. They remit inadvertently even maybe before the due date of filing the return also. And not only that, in many of the cases I have seen, I have come across, even those people deduct tax on the security deposit what they are withholding at the time of releasing the payment. They think tax has to be deducted when payment is released, irrespective of whether it was withheld amount, whether it is a security deposit, whatever it may be. So we are not able to even show the gross receipt correctly, because if he is deducting for security deposit also, what to do? We cannot show it as an income. It is already deducted from the earlier bill, which they are releasing. These are not the practical difficulties which we are bound to pass the entries only at the time of finalization, not on the day when the transaction takes place. Please tell me.
Absolutely, sir. I understand that, and the law doesn't stop that. Law is not saying don't pass the adjustment entries. But what cannot be done is that the posting date can't be the back date. Value date can be back date. But posting has to be done today as a rectification entry only, it has to be passed. Earlier what used to happen, people will go back in time, change that amount, change that date and modify that entry. Modification is not allowed. People will change cash, people will change voucher number, people will change the amount, people will change debit credit. That is what is not allowed. People will find negative cash, they will insert cash. That is what is not allowed. Nobody is saying on 16th August you can't pass an entry for 28th of February. You can. But the posting date has to be 16th of August. The value date can be 28th of February. And then you will also get to know if there are thousands of such entries. You will get to know the governance system of the company. You will better be careful than by doing audits.
Especially this type of governments like the railways, the Corporation of Chennai, this Kalpakkam Atomic Power Station where many of our clients are doing contract. They are facing all these difficulties because they even deduct tax for the security deposit, withheld amount also, for the withheld amount also they are deducting tax. So we have to go back to the origin date to rectify all those mistakes.
No, sir. You cannot go back to the original date. Posting date has to be the current date, sir. It cannot be backdated.
So all entries we want to be clear on 31st March.
Yes, value date only 31st March. Value date, posting date will be today's date.
No, sir, it was not 31st March. We are going to audit after the, now we are exercising all this as the government. The entry has to be passed only 31st March.
No, sir. Posting date will be today's date.
It has to be closed on 31st March.
Sir, value date will be 31st March.
That is okay, sir. Even the debit notes and credit notes alters the turnover itself in some cases.
That's okay, yes, sir. These are rectification entries. You cannot backdate them.
What are the penalties prescribed for not
I don't know what's the penalties, but penalty doesn't matter. It is your qualification in order to report expense.
Yeah, if we qualify and our hands are
I
free.
get our job is over. Let the company face consequences. So they will face problem everywhere then. They will face problem in all assessments. So I'm telling you, as a profession, we will face a flag if we allow to fail this audit trail. Neither the institute will have any leniency, nor NFRA will have any leniency if you fail this reform.
Government has not come out with any penalty so far.
So even if say penalty is there, the bigger penalty is the trust in the financial statements. That will be eroded. Penalty is not a solution.
I think the trust problem can be there even if there is audit trail.
I agree. 100% I agree. Trust problem can still be there even if there is audit trail. But then it will bring in a lot of discipline.
So, in case an audit trail software is being used and if there are entries like suspense entries, like you do not know which account is debited, which account is
Sir, how is it possible? If for all entries we don't know.
No, some of them.
See, sir, as an auditor, you need to make a judgment whether it is truthful or not. See, why we lose our value as a professional? When we collude with the management, when we know that these 100 suspense entries are there, and we know that this is not correct, and still we give a clean sheet. That is where we face the problem as a professional. That is where the trust in the profession goes down. Audit trail is a very good tool for the auditors to enhance the reliability of the audited financial statements. If we decide to do it otherwise, we will be responsible for the consequences. Today we may disregard it. Tomorrow it will come back and come back very strongly. You would have seen NFRA orders. In 1 year, the 25 orders which they have passed, the kind of penalties which they levy, the kind of debarments which they do, that's bound to increase them. It's our choice. That's why I say that audit is a serious profession. If you have to be the management advisor, then for that company we should not do the audits. Then be the advisor. Give them the solutions. But I'll always say with folded hands, don't play with law. Gone are the days when people could play with law in India. No longer it is possible.
So since I'm practicing from 1980, I have grown up with the impression that accounting and auditing are two different sectors, and you cannot be handled by one single person.
Absolutely, they should not be. They should not be. 100%.
What is accounting? Even one entry or all the entries, say, suppose they don't pass the liquidation entry and that alone is barbarous.
You cannot pass an entry, sir. You can tell that this entry is missing. An auditor cannot pass the entry. If we are maintaining books of accounts of the client as an auditor, good luck to us. If their tally is maintained in your office, good luck to you then. Cannot happen. Then the auditor is not the auditor. It is specifically prohibited under section 144 of the Companies Act.
That is not even one entry to be passed there.
You cannot. How can an auditor pass the entries? Not at all, sir. Yes, ma'am.
This is Veena Batwal, and I am just asking one thing, that whether the value date, as you said, it can be any date within that year?
Yeah, it can be any date.
Good morning, sir. I am Prabhakar Partner, K. Musam Income Charge. I have two doubts, sir. This audit trail is effective from 1/4/2023. Correct, sir? Sir, whether any classes you have to mention related to the audit trail in the year 2023, March 23 report, sir. Yes, 700 or
So March 23, technically it is applicable for auditors, but it was not applicable for companies. That's why we spoke to MCA. They told us verbally that it's probably an error in the law, and we gave a clarification in our technical guide that for 22-23 we simply say that this requirement is not applicable.
okay. Another thing is you mentioned about the audit software available at our website.
There are many softwares available. You go under the Committee for Member in Practice tab. You will find. I am not saying software for audit trail. I am not saying that. No.
Audit software.
Audit softwares are there, but not audit trail.
Thank you.
Yes, yes sir.
I am Ganesh, practicing from 1982. I have one question. Can cash entries also be made subsequently?
No.
No.
Not at all. Very clear. See, I am very clear in my thoughts and I speak my mind. Otherwise, I have no right to be AASB chairman. Yes, sir.
Sir, it's Subhanya. Sir, I have a doubt, you say the posting date can't be like prior to March or something, right?
No, I am not saying prior to March. Posting date can't be backdate. Simple.
But it can't be a back date.
It can't be backdate. So it is prohibited.
Where?
Audit trail disables doing backdating.
Audit trail is like a log we have to be maintained.
No. At the same time, it is mentioned that a company cannot use the software where it can be disabled. And if somebody is if software is allowing backdating, then you cannot rely on those books of accounts.
But if at all we are maintaining, we are doing a backdated also.
No, you cannot. Then you cannot rely on those
So
accounts.
March and all we will be doing in financial statements, we will be maintaining it in Excel and will be.
No, that's
changes,
if
right?
financial statements are maintained in Excel, it is not allowed.
It is not allowed to be maintained in Excel.
How you will make financial statement books or financial statement?
Financial statement.
Financial statement you make.
In financial statements, we'll be mentioning a separate sheet for management JVs and for audit JVs and all will be there, right? That will not
First of
be-
all, financial statements are not prepared by the auditor.
No, it is prepared by management, but as I'm speaking from the management perspective,
Okay.
I'm working in a company.
Fine.
Okay, so we will be maintaining a management JVs and audit JVs in an Excel.
What is the difference between the two, management JV and audit?
Management JVs is like we'll be making some provision entries and what all the things we are finalizing it during the audit. We'll be making the management JVs and audit JVs. There are some findings that will be made. Like
Yeah.
some findings will be there by
Right.
auditors. So they will be giving some JVs.
Right.
So we'll be
Absolutely.
making a separate sheets.
Right.
This will be posted in March 2020.
No, posted in today's date, value date 31st March.
Then the TB won't be tabulated.
TTV will tally when value date is 31st March.
Value data as far as the SAP is concerned, posting date in the sense the TB data for March. April to March means the posting date should be from April to March months.
No, it will be incorporated in the earlier year only, but the validation date is.
Transaction date has to be today's date.
Transaction. That every date has to be maintained. in
Super
Excel.
user concept has to go away. There cannot be a super user who has the right to go back in this system.
And
No superman is allowed.
Then other thing is we have a software for payroll processing and we'll be downloading it in Excel. Attendance processing will be downloaded in Excel and will be uploaded in SAP. So whether we have
So the entries are going directly there.
it is uploading and we are just downloading and uploading. Still you have to need an audit trail for the payroll software.
Yes, if entries are being directly posted, then yes.
Okay. So that's the software that we can SO will be created automatically in our software linked to one ERP, to our ERP. The SO will get automatically triggered from that software.
And that needs to have audit trail.
Audit trail. The thing is, there we can't do any deletion, modification, we can't do anything.
No.
Whatever it is created, it will get automatically posted
Yes.
in ERP. Still
Yeah.
we have to maintain it or
You have to maintain audit.
there you have to
Yes. It was deferred for 2 years. No company approached MCA.
As it is for 23 year and it is okay. Accounts of the
One leading question from the, sir, can I have one leading question from the last side? See, in SAP, we have a concept of period 30, right?
Pardon?
Period 30 entries. So all these adjustment entries.
There is no such
can we do
period 30.
30?
There is no such period 13 in accounting, sir. These are all made by people, but there is no such concept of period 13.
But that's one practical pushback that we are going to get.
Sir, whatever pushback you may get, I am saying as auditor, we are not required to do the entries. Simple. The sooner they understand it, better it is for us. You may call me impracticable, you may call me that the chairman doesn't know how to do audits, you may call me whatever, but that is the law. Either follow the law or leave the practice. Simple. There is no third option. Then leave COP, don't generate UDIN, be an advisor. Simple. As of now, there are no stringent laws for advisors. In future, there would be. Insolvency practice, valuation practice, now, The government is keeping an eye. Can you be a bit louder?
This is Anish Babu, Chartered Accountant. So I have one doubt. So in consolidation, consolidation of books and subsidiary books and the holding company books, they are consolidated in Excel. They have their workings in Excel. So how it will be maintained in a different software?
That is company's problem. They can always. Does the law say that consolidation has to be done in Excel?
No.
No. One can maintain consolidation entries in Tally or any other ERP or any other software. Who stops? No one stops.
But that should be tracked. That should be tracked.
Has to be. Has to
Not
be. Yes.
And another one, there is a number of different modules they will maintain, and they will take input from that module and they will post entries in this.
They
Right?
also need
Not
to audit it.
all the related modules.
Yes.
In any part of the like initially they started 1/4/2023. In the starting the 2 months they
Qualify.
So qualify specify.
Qualify that period.
That's all.
Hello sir, this is Mutturajan, Chartered Accountant. So my questions are relating to audit firm and how to overcome this audit trail audit. So basically, as from the medium size firm angle, how to tackle this audit from being no separate department of IT experts present in the firm.
So what you can do is that maybe some chartered accountant can start IT practice and render service to other chartered accountant, or you engage an expert in IT, take their inputs, but you remain responsible for your audit report filing. And as chartered accountant, we have to adapt technology now. But as of now, you can rely on the work of an expert, but ultimate responsibility for your work remains with you.
So when I conclude something as non-complex system like a tally, whether a peer reviewer or an external reviewer will accept if the chartered accountants themselves did an audit, trial audit and concluded on that.
100%. It's nowhere mentioned that the chartered accountant cannot know technology. He'll have to.
So when I qualify an audit report, so like recording audit trial, should I do something on the main audit report as well? Because when you
Depends what's the severity. If you feel that it has an impact and true and fair view of your financial statement, then yes.
No. Thank you.
Or if you say I am not able to conclude whether there is an impact, then you give a disclaimer of it.
Thank you.
So few of my questions already covered.
What's your name?
Deepak sir, Deepak from Manoj Relationships. So we are on the same firm, so a few of the questions already been covered. There are two more questions I have, sir. So one is on this documentation. What is the minimum documentation one should have? Saying the audit trail is there.
So, what are the tests that you have applied? What's been the scope of work? What's been your findings? And if your findings are that audit trail has been disabled or it's not being followed, then how you have evaluated the risk, whether the risk has enhanced, and if yes, what additional steps you have followed, or if it impacts your opinion, how you have arrived at that conclusion, and finally how you have disposed it of.
And this is not applicable for civil reports, right? When we issue reports to civil, sir, this is not applicable, right? So,
but for the annual audit, it is applicable.
So when I do limited review, so there should I comment on this audit trail, or
not really?
Even if it is like qualification, should I mention somewhere? Or?
You should, absolutely. If you feel it's been compromised and you have seen that, you should.
One more, so if any transition happens during the year from one software to other during the year, so 6 months one software is followed, then those entries are passed as opening entries. So should I even see the older software for audit trail or?
100%. You have to see for the entire year.
One last question, sir, on joint audit. So joint audit is there. So one of the auditors have the scope of checking the audit trail. So and the other auditor doesn't want to give.
How can that be? For your part of audit, the areas that you are doing, it is you who has to check the audit trail. Audit trail is not to be applied on part of audit. It is to be applied on full audit. So for your part, you check it.
My name is Shankar, sir. Is that concept of audit trail in other countries also? What is the solution?
No. We are the pioneers.
No other country has this. No other country.
Not to my knowledge. But now other countries will follow us. Any other questions, sir?
Yeah, coming to audit qualification, I know the answer would be it depends, but let me ask. It's our qualification audit is coming on before another legal and regulatory measure. And would it not have an impact on our SCF audit report?
Why not? Because it's an internal control. If that internal control is missing, it will have an implication on ICAI. Yes. It will have.
Okay, sorry to go back again on No. On consolidation, see, it's accumulation of few balances and getting the.
But are you not expressing an opinion on that?
We are expressing an opinion, but why do we need a books of accounts for that?
Why not?
We are downloading the trial balance.
No, why not?
Respective books of accounts.
How do you know that adjustments in consolidation has not been made and they are made?
Should we not rely on the controls in and around Excel to get that done?
What are the control around Excel? Tell me.
Access rights, password rights.
Excel? No, sir.
So you mean to say, no, it's education, otherwise you need to say that we should have a books of accounts which downloads on the trial balance, passes the consolidation audit adjustments, and gets the final numbers which goes to the consolidation.
Or do the consolidation in Excel and pass it in the books of accounts. Use Excel only as a working
sheets, but have a books of accounts.
Yes. And it is best because Excel will get corrupted in 2 years, 3 years. Whenever your laptop hangs or shuts down, or whenever there is any virus, it will happen. Whereas if it's in a software, it will be there forever.
If it is start open a new company, go as consolidation.
Absolutely.
If it's tally, do a new company.
Absolutely.
Go as consolidation.
Yes, that is the best practice.
That's the best practice.
We are in the primitive stage, still we have a long way to go in this. So, just we are deliberating on what is the probable outcome. This is what I feel.
Outcome for?
See, we are in the primitive stage of implementing the audit trail. See, what are all the practical difficulties we are facing? Passing the entry in the earlier year, which even till September 15th also people are bound to pass entries.
Sir, again and again I have said passing entries is not a problem, dating that is a problem. And there is no primitive stage, sir.
Yeah.
We all are chartered accountants, right? It's the client who has to follow it. We have to report it. Problem becomes when we take the responsibility of client on us. But tell me, sir, tomorrow, if the income tax officer catches hold and we have not reported, will the client say, no, sir, this chartered accountant is right. I only requested him not to write anything in his report. Suppose a client makes cash entries, introduces cash, you allow, you don't report. Will the client say, sir, no, it is not his fault. I only asked him to reduce my profit. He helped, and it is not the chartered accountant problem. I only wanted to reduce the profit. I only wanted to evade taxes. Please do not take any action on the auditor, take it on me. Will anyone come forward?
No one will say.
Then why we want to be charitable with the client? Will they go to the institute in your disciplinary meetings if it happens and say it is not his fault, it is my fault, leave him? None of them. Suppose sir, the certificate of practice is withdrawn, name is removed. Is it easy to do CA again? We know all the answers. But we want to hear a different answer. Sir, as a public relation committee, I speak different things. As an auditing standard board chairman, I take a different
We should be open-minded. What is
we are in a closed room. Even on the webinar, I take the same stand.
Yes.
In Calcutta also, I address people where the most innovative company used to start. But that's what the law is. And as ICAI, we support this law. I'll say it should come on all type of entities.
Any other queries?
Have all government companies started practicing this?
I don't know. I'm not doing the audit. Whosoever is the auditor will have to check that. Sir, it doesn't matter who is following, who is not following.
So just for implementation.
Sir, I say that's the law of the land.
It is mandatory for all the companies.
Simple, take it like if there is a traffic signal, somebody says, has anyone following it? If 10 people are violating it, I'll be the 11th person, so on. My response is simple, clear. I don't leave ambiguity in my communication. Even during my election, when I go to my electoral, I say no what I feel right. And fortunately, both the time I have been elected with the highest number of votes in North India. And it's not that now I'm in a large firm I'm able to say this. No. I started my practice in a small firm. Only 2 partners were there. I've been into industry for 12 years. If somebody says companies can't follow it, I don't accept that. And again, I'm saying at the end of the day, it is the law. Where is the choice? Any other question on audit, sir? We also have an expert helpline where you can ask your audit related question from our 50 experts free of cost. This is from 16th April to 15th of September. We don't receive any questions, but you can ask. It's the world's largest helpline because we are potentially auditor of 3 million entities can ask us questions. 14 lakh companies and 16 lakh non-corporate.
Is it available in the SS portal, sir?
On the Auditing Standard Board website. And it's free, there's no fee for it. Any other questions, sir?
This working paper templates and all that also you said that we can see.
Auditing Standard Board website.
Same.
We have sent email also to all members. Now we give single mail from ICAI every day. ICAI events. It has all the information. So instead of multiple mail, you get one single mail. Are you receiving it?
Yes, yes.
One mail has all the contents.
So many every time the questions are asked from the clients. How many years of books of accounts we should?
8 years, 1 plus 8. Current year plus 8 by previous year. Same is for audit trail.
The electric RO, there's no changes, sir. Plus, we compare with the March 22.
Same. we are bringing 7 new auditing standards. There is an exposure draft currently which is there. You can submit your comments. 45 days we have given. So existing standards are being revised. It's not that these are the 7 additional standards. How many auditing standards are there? You can ask. It's a very difficult question. How many auditing standards? How many accounting standards are there? How many AS? How many?
23.
Any other answer? AS. How many? Any other answer? 27.
27 is
How,
29 minus 2.
how many in AS? Very difficult. 39. How many auditing standards? Some people say, sir, SA 700, 705, issued has issued hundreds of standards.
4,400.
4,000 also.
Yeah.
4,400 standards. How many are there? 4,400. Many people are saying that we should have a qualification test every 2 year or 3 year. 42 auditing standards.
Any other queries?
How many members are there in Chennai? No, how many members are there?
More than 15,000. More than 15,000.
15,000. I'm assuming all of you will be from Chennai. Delhi we have 45,000 plus.
The entire southern region, we have got 75,000
Yeah, we also have. That's why the number of seats are same. 6. The central council.
Any other queries to the chairman of AASB board?
Why it is called AASB? Any idea? What is AASB? And then people say accounting and auditing standards board. Thank you. So if there are no other questions, then thank you very much, and sorry that we kept you waiting. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks very much.
So yes, we all agree audit is a serious profession. Thank you very much, CA Dr. Sanjeev Kumar Singhal sir, for your valuable time and your presence amidst us, clarifying and enlightening us on the various accounting auditing trail. That was a wonderful eye-opener session, fruitful interactive session also. We also appreciate the various initiatives taken by ICAI through Public Relations Committee headed by you. Yeah, big round of applause for Sanjeev sir. May I now request the CA Shankar Raman sir to formally propose a vote of thanks.
Okay. Thank you, sir, for having your presence here in Chennai and other seniors. It was a very interactive session. It was helpful. We had many queries which had some practical challenges considering the market and the type of client to be site firms, sir. So thanks for providing us with your thoughts based on your past experience. Thanks a lot. And thanks a lot, members, for taking your time this morning, being here and putting forth your questions, challenges, both from an audit perspective as well as from the industry perspective. So thanks a lot, and I'm sure that probably we have more questions than answers when we go back. I don't know, but It's up to us now to talk to our clients, make them realize the importance of these requirements and ensure that they are compliant with. So thanks a lot, SIRC, for getting this session organized and looking forward to discussions on this topic. Being the topic which is relevant for the first year, I'm sure that we will have more questions as we go along the presentation the next 45 days. So thanks SIRC for this initiative.
And we are revising our technical guide, we are including more FAQs. If you have some more questions,
Sure, we will do that.
you can send those questions. So that
Thanks a lot. Enjoy your afternoon and back to Bangalore.
Thank you very much, Sankaraman sir. In the absence here, we also would like to thank our Central Council members, CA Rajendra Kumar and Sri Priya Madam, for initiating this wonderful session. So with that, we have come to the conclusion for today's interactive session. We will wind up today's session with the national anthem. Also requesting all of us to join for lunch at the canopy at the ground floor opposite to Brahmaya Hall. That is all right for national anthem.
जनगण अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब